that's not the case. And as United fans, it's either this and some systemic change in the structure, or no one at all. And we've experienced no one at all for 20 years plus. So, as much as I would love the Glazers to be gone, I'm willing to give Sir Jim a chance to see what he does, because we don't know what can transpire. We could be. I've already seen Sir Jim out already. Imagine if we win the Premier League in the next 5 years. Like, how silly will people look then? You know, people wanted Fergie out, I'm sure, in his first early years when he came to United, trying to change things, and it takes time. So we will see, guys. Let me know in the comment section if you think Man United's structural change will happen and it will change Man United. Will it be something that would take us forward, or will it be just another Glazer papering over cracks while they kill us slowly? That's what they've been doing, sucking their life out of us, man. Leeches. But we will see. We got a comment here said United FC. It says Ancelotti, Flick, Simeone, Spalletti, Zidane are managers. Are the managers that I want over this Dutch fraud? De Zerbi will be another option, but I want an experienced manager in the game, not this Eredivisie fraud. Oh, United FC really not liking Ten Hag right now. And you know what? I get it. He's not in the best kind of form as a manager, so I understand that. I saw a comment saying that Michael Edwards would never go to Man United because of Liverpool. Hey, listen. Money talks, baby. You know what I'm saying? Remember, these guys aren't necessarily attached to one football club. You know, they will move around. Football directors, sport directors, they'll move around where they're wanted. And yeah, listen, being the guy that helps facilitate Man United come back to the top, you'll be a legend within the game. So these three men, if they come in and do it, fair play.
I reckon they'll take you backwards before they take you forwards. I think if they want to start running United like a proper football club again, they're going to have to. There are so many players that you've got that are on ridiculous wages. You're known in the transfer market as being a club that will overpay on wages and fees. And I think you'll have to go through a period where you really struggle to sign players because you have to start pulling it back in and acting like a proper club. And I think for a while, that will set you back. But you need to go back to rebuild from scratch almost and then build out again. It's just whether, again, you go through a couple of years of that regression even more with people that you already don't really want. It'll be, it could get toxic.
You know what as well, Rory, yeah? United fans need to have a proper conversation about the players that are not good enough to be at Manchester United. Yeah, you need to, like, I'm saying this as a non-buyer. I'm not a United fan. I don't care what happens, yeah? I'm telling you, some of these United fans need to wake up and smell the coffee. Yeah, 50%, if not more, of those players are not good enough to play for Manchester United. Yet, for whatever reason, some United fans are constantly like, "No, keep him. He's going to get better next year. Or it's just a dodgy season." You just need to wake up, mate, because City are moving mad. Arsenal starting to move like actual proper club after a decade. Liverpool have got Klopp, and they'll always, under him, he's going to be good. I'm telling you, man, United fans, you need to wake up. You need to make a decision on someone like a Rashford. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has like 3 bad seasons, 1 really good season, automatically gets 350, 400 grand a week. And now he's poor again. You need to make decisions. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, is he good enough to play for your football club? And not just them, loads of them. Martial, Ericsson, yeah? Scott McTominay, loads of them. You need to have an honest conversation with yourselves. Are these players good enough to get in the Manchester City team or even the Arsenal team or the Liverpool team? If the answer to that question is no, move them on. Because that's who you try to catch up. Do you know what I mean? And it's accepting the mediocrity that you've had over the last 10 years that's got you in this mess in the first place. Keeping Deadwood. Do you know what I mean? I sometimes speaking with my mates, yeah, United fans and that, and I'll be speaking to them in the pub or whatever, and like speaking about some of the players, and like they'll speak about some of the players, and I'm like, bro, that guy would even get in my reserve team. Yeah, they'll be like buzzing about him and be like, yeah, this guy mint. I was like, bro, you fallen off, man. You've fallen off. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happened there, but your standards are lowered, and you need to just. I think it might be difficult because you've become attached to certain players. You spent a lot of money on a certain player, so maybe you want to give them a chance, but it's not working, and you just need to wake up, innit? And if you don't wake up, fine, because that benefits me, benefits Rory, yeah. Don't benefit you, KJ, obviously, but you know what I mean. you need to wake up, man. You need to wake up.
I agree. I look at the players that have gone through now, at least 3 managers. I look at every single one of those players and I think that's a problem because all of them have basically down tools as soon as it gets hard, and that's a big problem. And none of them have there's been not a single one of them where even when it's down, they're like the shining light. It's like when one drops off, they all drop off. I think it's a massive problem, and I genuinely think that the majority of that squad needs rebuilding pretty much at this point.
Yeah, no, it does. And yeah, listen, I'm at a point where any of those players can go, and I would feel like, okay, cool, like it for the greater good, it happens. Like the one player that I personally am very attached to, and people like know this is Marcus Rashford. I feel like he's given us so at a young age, seeing him come through and become a player that's helped win us things. I get why I'm attached, and I get why people are attached to him. But even him, this up and down of being a guy can get 30 goals to almost nothing, like after after the season is crazy. Like I personally, I'm not like, yo, that can't happen at Man United unless he's willing to be a bench player at this moment in time. You've got to really consider everyone is ready for the chopping block. Even now, listen, even some of the new guys, if they come in and say, listen, Onana, you're actually not the goalkeeper for us. You're the manager's pick, but you're not the goalkeeper we want. I'll be like, hey, listen, that's just football, isn't it? And we're at a point where we can't have sentiment. Like Man City right now, you can have sentiment with all your players. Like KDB, obviously his body's breaking down, but if you wanted to keep until he's 35, 40, you can, because of how much you've done, how much he's done for you guys, and how much your guys are ahead of everyone. You can do that. Arsenal, you're getting to a point where if a few years go by and Saka's still around, but you've won things, you can be like, yeah, you know what, Saka, stay around. You're a good servant. We can't do that, Man United, right now. We don't need that. We need big change indeed. You guys are right. These players need to be looking at themselves. Are they really wanting to be Manchester United legends? Because that's all you'll be if you win a Premier League.
Bro, stop handing out mad cash to everyone, bro.
All right, listen.
What is this, man? I remember when we got bought, yeah, and that United fan in the stadium at the derby went, our players make history, your players make money. Mate, what an embarrassing thing that is now, because it's completely opposite way round, bro. You know what I mean? You're giving Marcus Rashford 350. Yeah, you're giving all this cash everywhere where we just won the treble. Yeah, tables have turned massively. But this is because you've given big cash to mediocre players. And you panic. You act like I'm not being funny, you act like a small club. Like, do you remember the Ronaldo stuff that went on? Like, that was like, getting Fergie to ring him and say, don't go City, mate, because you'll ruin your reputation. You should sign players that you actually want to sign. Yeah. Whereas you like panicking to signings and that. I think now, yeah, this new guy comes in. I don't know necessarily whether I agree with Roy. I don't know whether it will get worse. Maybe it might, but maybe they can come in and instantly get better. Who knows? But they need to step into the modern day. They need to start acting like a big club again, like we are Manchester United. Stop signing players that you don't actually want. Get rid of all the deadwood at the football club. Sort out the wages. Sort the stadium out because your stadium's falling down. Get a new training ground because your training ground's bare old as well. And just like I say, step into the modern age.
Yeah.
I saw this as well from Matt Law saying that Sir Jim Ratcliffe set to receive advice from Sir Alex Ferguson as he prepares to undertake. That for me is another massive problem. Like the fact you're still going back to Fergie, I'm like, one of the best things I think Arsenal, and I think it was actually Arsene Wenger's choice, was that when he left, he cut ties completely, walked away, and he's barely been back at all since because he doesn't want him or his opinions or anything to overshadow what we're trying to do. I think if you're still going back to Fergie 10 years on, that's a problem. That is
it is. And obviously he's been through so much since he's been manager. Obviously he's had health complications. His passing of his wife. Like, leave the man alone. He just literally wants to watch Man United play. That's what he wants to do. Come into the club, watch them play, and leave. Stop coming to him, man. Let him rest, man. Let him enjoy life.
And it's a new era. Like, football isn't the same as it was when he left it. He can have opinions, but I just don't even think he's the right man to be taking advice from anymore.
Yeah, hopefully that's just like conjecture and a rumor.
It's a difficult, but this is what I'm saying about United need to stand up for themselves as a big club. But this is where they need to make a difficult call and say, nah, we're not going to take your advice no more. Because as Rory said, this is not about disrespect, by the way. This is about just saying, as Rory said, the game's moved on. And listen, you can, if you want to give advice, fine, but you've got to be strong enough to say, we appreciate the advice, but we're going to go a different direction. You know what I mean? And yeah, I would be hesitant to take anything that he says personally, just because, like Rory said, it was a different era. I mean, what's it been, a decade since he's been in the game? Just think about everything that's happened in the football world in terms of transfer market valuations, FFP, the way that's developed. You got VAR. You got so much that has changed since he left. I would be hesitant to take any advice. I'd take the advice, but then I'd make my own call.
Yeah, it's like when your granddad's trying to tell you about like technology. He's just like, all right, you're right, granddad, like cool, and it like you accept it, but at the same time, you just know that it's time to move on.
And I think it tarnishes his legacy as well. I think he's such a good legacy, but the more his name gets attached to what United is now, I think that he doesn't need that at all.
Yeah, it does not hurt. It doesn't help him whatsoever. We've got some super chats here, so a quick one. It goes, Ronnie says, I want a new CEO and a DOF, get rid of the United tax. Being able to be taken seriously in the market as Manchester United will help us so much. Teams know they can pull our pants down, and it's embarrassing, honestly. The fact that we paid almost 90 million for Anthony.
It takes time, though.
Flipping out. I know. Obviously, Arsenal had to do the same. Obviously, you guys.
We still are. We still can't sell players for the money that we should sell them for, because we're known as a club that either you can get players for ridiculously cheap off, or you just wait for them to run down their contract, which happened with so many of our biggest players. So yeah, it takes time.
Yeah, and we've got Johnny Sins here with Ten Hag's bald head. He goes, United fans never learn and now getting gassed again with Jim. I will tell you now, he's just going to be a good guy front man to take the heat off the Glazers. And it's not okay. For me personally, it's not about getting gassed. I'm not overly like, yes, Jim's going to save us. It's more of just, it's a change. So
I think you can be optimistic, bro.
I'm willing to see. I'm really willing to see where it goes. Do I think it's the change we need? No, because again, the Glazers still here. I don't trust the Glazers fully, but I'm willing to see what Sir Jim can bring to the table, because we never know. This approach of stroking the Glazers, giving them what they want, which is money, and allowing them not to be involved in football endeavors, might be the approach that actually works, because we've never tried that. So we'll see, and we'll see.